Hello and welcome to another ProElliottWave.com video analysis series for November 13, 2013. I hope you guys are doing well and had a great week of trading. This is our midweek video analysis and let's get started. First of all, let's do some of the legal aspects. Take care of that. This set and services and the video analysis are for educational purposes only. Investing in securities, Forex, and futures markets carries a high degree of risk and you can lose all of your investment money. All opinions expressed and data provided herein are subject to change without notice. The services offered by us may not be suitable for all investors. This material is not intended to provide and should not be construed as providing individual financial, investment, tax, legal, or accounting advice. You should consult your own professional advisors prior to acting on the basis of the information herein. For further information, please contact ProElliottWave.com. I'd like to get started as usual, taking a look at what are some of the events that we should look out for the next couple of days, the remainder of this week. Tonight we have some minor, but things could definitely affect the market with the Eurozone, and then looking at tonight, you have the pound, and again Eurozone and US tomorrow morning at 5:30 Eastern time. Actually, 5:30 Pacific time. You're gonna have the unemployment claims, which is always a market mover. So be careful and take a look at where we are at the charts. And during those times that as we have been speaking about it all the time, and especially with what you saw last week, everything gets exaggerated. So you want to make sure that you're on top of it. You know what's coming up, and what are some of the possible Elliott wave counts that you are reaching for, because in those times it gets exaggerated, it travels very fast to those points and moves right off of them, and sometimes beyond. Okay, let's get started with some of the markets. We're going to start with the Euro Yen weekly as usual. As we've been talking about it, we have been in a very bullish run since July of 2012. We're towards the very end of it. If we did not make the top, which is yet to be seen, I believe we haven't yet. And as I go into it, you'll see it more. But we are dealing with an ending diagonal pattern. And we have so far completed the 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in the midst of completing the 5. It's very important that you uh, keep your eyes out on this level, because this is the major level that if this gets broken, this count is no longer valid. So at 131, 146, this count is no longer valid, and we need to look elsewhere. And this would be this top would have been our top. I don't agree with that, because I believe that usually there's, first of all, in an ending triangle or diagonal, you see equality between the waves, and I don't think this was a completion of the fifth wave. Um, it didn't matter that we didn't break it, but there was not enough of an action on this leg of it if you compare it to all these other legs, because you see the breakdown. Uh, let me see if I can highlight it for you guys. So you have an up, down, up. You have an down, up, down, up. So all of these um, makes a difference. And here it's just a very small run. So I believe this is our A coming down to a B, and now we're going to go and complete a C. And if we look closer into this action, you see that we went sharply off. We held pretty much at the low of the trend line forming between uh, the, the the. Let's go back so you can see it better. I'm lost for words at this point. So from the origin to the 2 to the 4, this trend line almost held. We broke through it, but we never broke underneath the 4. So it's still encouraging for this wave count. However, as we see, we might be forming another pattern. This might have been the top, and we might be just forming a B, and then we'll come straight down. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But this broke down nicely to an ABC pattern. We had a sharp, impulsive wave up. Um, Now I believe we're going to work down for a B here somewhere, and we're going to test that trend line again and move off of it and go way back up. That's my count for now. And if you look into it further, and you can look at the charts as we have them on the chart analysis, you'll get a better detail, and you can go and do further research on your time. This is the overall basis of what we're discussing in this video. Up next, I want to talk to you about the euro dollar, starting again from the weekly. I believe we have in a multi-wave up to a C up here, and we've done an A, B, and moving to a C. Off of the C, I believe we've already formed an A, and we're going to be moving this pattern. There are some alternative accounts where I have this as an A, B, C, D, and then coming down to an E. I like that count, but I still haven't been able to justify it in the monthlies, and it doesn't work as smoothly. However, as you look at it, it looks like a perfect triangle forming. We have to see how we react once we get back up here. For now, we are on a correction, and if we look at the daily, you see that we work sharply down this A that we called about almost 2 weeks ago, and you can take a look at those readings. And then from this high, I believe we did have a good impulsive action down from a 1, 2, 3, 4 to a 5 somewhere in this neighborhood. I don't know if we have made a 5 in this neighborhood. I don't know if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 and we're going to go back down or not. These levels are very important, and I would make sure that you are watching these levels. There's major support level here that if we go through this line, then this count is no longer valid. So the 1.35008, actually it could be valid if we can form it into an ending diagonal instead of an impulsive move down, but we should not go beyond the end of 2, which is around 135.30. So keep your eyes open for this, and in the next, I believe even tonight or tomorrow, this is going to happen, this move down, and it might have already started. I do have some counts where I do count a 4, so I do have an A, B, C to a 4 here, and as you can tell, we've already started from the time that I finished this count and started the video analysis. Take a look at this. If this comes down and we break some of these levels, we go through 1.3389, you know we're on our way down, and we should be getting our 5th wave, and go from there. And as far as the 5th wave, where it's going to end, some possible scenarios for that would be, let's get a ratio analysis of the I choose the wrong one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's take a look at that. And 5 versus 3. So somewhere around the 1.320 is the equality. I believe it usually goes lower than that, so keep an eye on the 1.618, and which is 1.2991. That's a likelier pattern, I believe. Let's continue with the US Japanese yen. I believe we are on our 4th wave. Now, how does this 4th wave shaping up is a big question mark that has to be seen. Whether this is an A, B, C, D, E, and we're going to move off of these levels right now and break through. that remains to be seen. I have an alternative count up here because everybody else has the other one, so I want you guys to be aware of it. I believe this could be an A to a B, and we drop down to a C down here. That becomes our fourth. Now let's take a look at it, the inside of this and see how this looks. I believe this was our A, and we're doing an A, B, C, D, E for a B. It's shaping out very nicely with an A, B, C to this level. This was not impulsive up, but at any point, if this gains momentum, this count can change, and you can look at it as a very bullish, um, you know, impulsive move. At this point, it doesn't show that way, and if I go into the 4-hourly and the hourly, you see people are trying to figure out which way it's going, and there is a major fight here, and it remains to be seen. I don't know if this was the end of it, and we're going down from here or not. I have a count where this is the end of it, and I have a count that this might be the end of it. So there's two alternative counts going on, and each one of them are valid. I will spend some time looking at some of the charts that we've set up for you and go from there. Let's move on to the Swissy. Let's back out to the weekly and see if there's any correlations that we can pick up here. Um, this is a little bit busy. Let me actually. Okay, I believe we're working on a 2 off of this fifth level, so I don't see a reactive wave down that I want to see to complete this, so I'm hesitant to be 100% sure of this action right now. But we do have a nice ABC here off of this larger ABC down to here to a 2. So, and as you can tell, we've broken some of these trend lines and we're moving up. This is right now coming back and testing this trend line. Let me see if I can highlight it for you. So if you draw a line here, you would see that we are going through and testing this line and perhaps move straight on up. So that is a key level. MACD is positive. Everything looks positive for this. So keep an eye on this as we go along. And if you look at the 4-hourly, you see a very nice clean fifth wave forming, impulsive move up with the 3 that's on a triangle coming up to an end here with last week's action. Then the news and the Eurozone interest rate decision. So that's that. Let's move on to the pound. Again, you can also review some of our notes and videos from last week as well. Here with the pound, it's an interesting thing for me. I always have been, for a while, I've had this count where this was our 3 to an A, B, C, D, E. This was the end of triangle moving down. I'm beginning to think maybe this is a little bit different. And I mean, the problem is there's no equality between the waves at that point, which I don't like. But sometimes waves in a triangle can be more complex, and you might have instead of just a straight zigzag, you might have combinations working in hand, or any combination of combinations working, doubles or triples. At this point, this could be forming to a C, and then we might do another wave ABC down and up to here for the completion of E. That remains to be seen. The main level here that you have to keep an eye on would be, let me see if my highlighter works for me. This level, 1.6345. That cannot be broken. If that gets broken, this count is no longer valid, and I believe we're going to get started with a very bullish run to the top. So let's take a look at this in a smaller level, moving out to the daily. I do have an ABC up to a 2. However, I'm not sure with this, and I don't like the action coming off of this, even though this is a sideways action showing extreme indecision in the market, and we'll see how this works. I'm not 100% sold on this action, but we'll wait and see. There's That's the thing with Elliott Wave. You have to wait and make sure you have validation on your counts and you have the momentum of the crowd. If everybody wants to still take it up, and there's news coming out, this count can change. It's a roadmap to help us figure out which direction the market might go, and I believe we have guesstimated to the best of our ability some alternative counts that might not be out there. Everybody sees the usuals and the normal ones. I believe we have to take a look at some of the alternative counts that might be floating out, and go from there. Good luck. We will have another video that will cover the Dow, S&P, dollar index, and the gold. So stay tuned and we'll see you at the end of the week. Good luck and good fortunes.